Hello, hello. Lots to do today. Talk about the Latin and Greek root ject. But first, just want to read progress report number 4 with you. Maybe talk about a contraction. This will be a short one. The one after this about ject, it's a little bit longer, about 15 minutes. So go through this kind of quickly, but our guy here, Charlie, get some big news. Hopefully, we had that good class discussion already about what's going on in Charlie's life. It's only like day 4, so there isn't a ton to say, but we know a little bit about him. Let's look at this first sentence here. They're going to use me. I'm so excited I can hardly write. Now, I've heard from a couple people. All right, I remember them because they've said it out loud, but others might be thinking it to themselves. But Peyton and Jenna, thank you so much for sharing your concern. Like, it is a little bit like, if you know how to write, some of these mistakes can be a little bit like rough. So luckily it doesn't last. It will get better. But if you look at that first sentence right there, I just got to stop for a second and make sure that I just talk about this for a second. So they are going to use me. He's got the possession one there, the THEIR. So they are there. They are going to use me. How about this? It could have said like their lab, like somebody owns a group of people, a couple people own something, their house. That's the way you THEIR. So they are going to use me, got a typo there, in their lab. They are going to use me in their lab. So that's how you do it. And then the next sentence, and we can't go through all of them. I just wanted to, like, I'm on the same page. Can be a little frustrating, but this poor guy, he's doing his best. Charlie, he wasn't given a lot. We'll hear a doctor say that. You've done so much with so little. It's a backhanded compliment if I ever heard one. All right, they're going to use me. I'm so excited I can hardly write. You could be really mean. Charlie, poor Charlie. You could say you can't even write when you're not excited. That's just mean. Come on, this guy's doing the best he can. All right, let's make this a little bigger. All right, Dr. Namor and Dr. Strauss had an argument about it first. Dr. Namor was in the office when Dr. Strauss brought me in. Dr. Namor was worried about using me, but Dr. Strauss told him Miss Kinnian recommended me the best from all the people who she was teaching. I like Miss Kinnian because she's a very smart teacher. I mean, is it Miss Kinnian who first? I think Miss Kinnian might be kind of evil here. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're all like, hey, this could really help society. But it seems like Miss Kinnian is, Charlie showed up at her adult class. Oh, yeah, a class for slow adults, I think it was called. Don't think you can use that. I think you'd get canceled now if you use that. So he showed up there, and I think she was working with these doctors, and she was like, hey, I got a guy. I got a good test subject for you. I don't know. But I mean, they're thinking they can help this guy. Hopefully it's all on the up and up. And she said, Charlie, you're the wrong but you're going to have a second chance. If you volunteer for this experiment, you might get smart. They don't know if it will be permanent, but there's a chance. THER. I'm not going to. Okay, let's just keep reading. That's why I said, okay, even when I was scared, because she said it was an operation. She said, don't be scared, Charlie. You've done so much with so little. I think you deserve it most of all. So basically, hey, Charlie, you're not that bright, buddy, but you've done so much with so little. We talked about that movie yesterday. So I got scared when Dr. Namor and Dr. Strauss argued about it. Dr. Strauss said, I had something that was very good. He said, I had good motivation. So it's like motivation, but motivation, like wanting to do something. I never knew I had that. I felt proud when he said that not everybody with an IQ of 68, so 68 is tremendously low. 70 is about the cutoff between like severe disability. So he's well below that 70 there. And I think it's 140 that's like genius level. Had that thing. I don't know what it is or where I got it, but she said Algernon had it too. Algernon's motivation is the cheese. They put it in its box. But it can't be that because I didn't eat any cheese this week. Then he told Dr. Namor something I didn't understand. So while they were talking, I wrote down some of the words. He said, Dr. Namor, I know Charlie is not what you had in mind as the first of your new breed of intellect. Couldn't get that word. Couldn't get the word. So I think it's intellect, smart people. Intellect Superman. But most people of his low achievement, maybe, are host and uncoop. They are usually dull, maybe apathetic, like they have no like motivation there. Hard to reach. He has a good nature. He's interested and eager to please. Dr. Namor said, remember, he will be the first human being ever to have his intellect tripled by surgical means. So tripled. He will be probably one of the smartest people on earth. Dr. Strauss said exactly. Look at how well he's learned to read and write for his low mental age. It's as great as achievement as you and I learning Einstein's theory of probably relativity without help. That shows the intense motivation. It's comparable, tremendous achievement. I say we use Charlie. I don't know if I got all those right. Maybe you had a different interpretation of what those things are, but I didn't get all the words. They were talking too fast, but it sounded like Dr. Strauss was on my side and like the other one wasn't. Then Dr. Namor nodded and he said, all right, maybe you're right. We will use Charlie. When he said that, I got excited. I jumped up and shook his hand for being so good to me. I told him, thank you, Doc. You won't be sorry for giving me a second chance. And I mean it, like I told him. After the operation, I'm going to try to be smart. I'm going to try awful hard. All right, so Charlie, he's got good motivation. He's done so much with so little. We'll see what happens to him. That's it for right now. Adios.